Coach Rule about this as well, but I'm curious to hear your perspective on Coach Snow. What is it about his style and just the way he prepares his defense that has contributed to the early success?
Just mostly just what he preach. Mostly more than scheme and what he calls. He just really just preach, high effort, high intensity, aggression. On every play. He just really he's big on controlling what we can control, and that's always your effort. How hard you're going. What I'm saying, how aggressive you're playing, and if you run into the ball and stuff like that. So it's just mostly just the message he preaches, and I think it's just instilled in everybody, from practice, even dating back way from last year, just mostly just the message he comes into, football with.
I'll ask this, a lot of people think, why did his words stick with you or resonate?
Yeah. Most definitely. Coach Snow is just a high intensity guy. He's a football guy, and he just really want guys to just play hard, and a lot of things he asks out of us is not really it doesn't take any talent. It doesn't take really any thought. It's just really just going out and just playing hard. And I think that's just, like I said, it's really just instilled in everybody. And most thing we want to do, you don't want to be on Coach Snow film not running to the ball or not being physical. So.
Back and forth between you and JC been like in games, as you guys have had some pretty good combined success so far to start the year?
We're just feeding off each other, man. Just really the whole secondary. Just feeding off each other, making sure everybody is getting confidence from one another. Make sure everybody's just competing for one another. And I just think we collaborate on a lot just based off the fact that we both are competitive. We both want to win. And like I say, we just bounce ideas off each other. How you feeling, and what I'm saying, you should attack it like this, or you should do something like this. You just always just making sure we know what each other's feeling and know what each other's thinking out there. I'm always, just being the older guy, I just want to always make sure he's comfortable and make sure he just has the confidence, because when he's confident and locked in, there's nobody better than him, really.
How comfortable is he compared to other young players you've seen?
I mean, he's right up there with some of the best young guys you've seen around the league throughout the past few years. He's been in it. He's been taking on a big dog role. He was inside. He played inside a lot against the Saints. Just moving around. He want to learn everything. He want to be everywhere. He just want to be where the ball's gonna be. So he never could. Always good to get that out of a young guy.
Donte, did it surprise you the other day when he didn't get his hands on the pick and he was doing push-ups out there on the field?
Nah, that's the type of guy he is. He expects to make every play. So when he don't make it, you're gonna see him dropping down and do push-ups. Nobody asks him to do that. He just he expects to make that play, and he should have made that play. But it was 4th down, so we glad he didn't make that play.
Donte, facing a rookie quarterback second time in 3 weeks, is that a matchup that should absolutely work to your advantage?
We just gonna go out there and work our stuff, man. We're gonna go out there and do what we do. We're gonna bring high intensity. We're gonna bring physicality, and we're gonna bring effort. It really doesn't matter, who we're playing. It's always about us, and that's what we're gonna always, make it. We're gonna make it about us. And if we do everything we're supposed to do, everybody do their job, everybody, in their gaps, we'll be successful on anybody.
Is there an opportunity though to kind of throw more looks at a guy making his first career start?
Maybe. See how Coach Snow feels, but for the most part, we just, with a short week, we just was trying to make sure we're fine-tuning on what we do and getting our stuff down packed. Mistakes we made in the last 2 games, we trying to just clean those up, and because we expect guys to try to attack, stuff that didn't quite go as well. But we're gonna work our stuff. We're gonna come in there. We're gonna play what we play and play hard.
A lot of tape on him. What have you taken away from the film study you have done?
He has a strong arm. He can make every throw. He's confident. He's not a guy who's who shies away from a big moment. Because he got in the game against the Cleveland, and he wasn't scared. So that's something to keep in mind. He'll throw the ball. He'll take shots, and he'll stand in there and fight.
Everybody thinks pass coverage first, but how much do you enjoy stopping the run and tackling?
You stop the run. You can get attempts at interceptions and pass breakups and stuff like that. So I'm all about stopping the run. I'm all about getting up in there, making tackles. Guys, fitting their blocks. You know, some guys get out of their gaps. You know, I'm all about coming down and cleaning up. I think as a secondary, that's one thing we emphasize, or we don't quite take for granted. We gonna come up there and we gonna tackle and we gonna fit the run because Coach Snow expects us to. So.
Knowing how much adversity you went through last year with your toe, how gratifying has this first couple of weeks been, just not only be on the field, but to be a part of the success that this defense has been individually?
It was great. It was great.
Donte, when you look at
Stand.
the receiving core that they've got, I mean, Brandon Cooks obviously leading the way. What are your impressions of him and that group?
Brandon Cooks is a savvy vet. You know, he's been making plays in this league for a long time. 1,000-yard seasons with you know, like 3-4 different teams. You know, so he's definitely a guy that we're not overlooking. He's definitely a guy that we want to make sure we keep an eye on. You know, he has a rookie quarterback, so he's gonna obviously go with the guy who he's most comfortable with, who he's seen make plays, and I'm sure we all have seen Brandon Cook makes a ton of plays. So yeah, he's a guy we're gonna definitely have to keep an eye on and make sure we know what he is.
What's a way example of how Phil Snow, 65, has bridged that age gap with you guys, communicating with them and all that?
Coach Snow's a young guy, man. You think he's old? Coach Snow's young. He fits right in with this group. He's a lot of personality. You don't want to get him mad. You know, you want to make sure you do your job. You don't want to see the bad side of Snow. Yeah, you know, but he definitely matches the character of this defense. He matches the personality of this defense, and a lot of days he's the thing that gets this defense rolling just by the stuff he says in the meeting, or you know, he might make a funny remark at Brian Burns during the meeting or something, because he always makes funny remarks at Brian. Yeah, you know, he definitely fits this group. You know, he's the right lead man, if you ask me.
What are some of those funny remarks?
Oh, Burns has this thing where he always asks Coach Snow, like, "Oh, you up in them?" You like in the morning, like, "You up? You don't look like you up." So he will always come back with something at Burns, not for the media, but yeah.
Donte, what's the biggest challenge for a player to go from a Sunday game and prepare for a Thursday game? Is it
The biggest
rest?
Big challenge is, you know, you obviously want to, you know, watch as much film on the team you're playing. You obviously want to know what they're going to do. You know, usually you have, 4 or 5 days to do that, 6 days to do that. But now you have like 2 or 3. And you also want to, you know, make sure your body is right, make sure you're feeling right, make sure you're not still sore, you're not feeling anything from Sunday. So I think it's like a mix. You know, you got to have a fine, like, mix in between of, you know, getting your film study and getting, you know, everything that you want to do preparation-wise, and, you know, making sure you're getting your massages, making sure you're in the tubs, and, you know, you're doing all the stuff to make sure you feel good out there too. So I think that's probably the biggest challenge, is trying to, you know, mix both of them.
1 or 2 more. Donte, on a lighter note, you probably heard about the bet between, you know, Reddick and Burns. Whoever wins gets a golf cart from the other one. Have you heard about that yet?
Oh, wow.
Oh, you hadn't heard about that? Well, who do you think will win that contest?
I'm not in
Who will
that.
have the most sacks?
I'm not picking that, man. I hope they both win. That means just more passes in the air for us. So.
What have you noticed from AJ since he's been back, not just physically, but what he's meant to in the room?
Oh, he just definitely brings. Even when he was in the room, he always kept up talking, FaceTime. You know, he always talked to us. You know, because he never stopped watching film. He never stopped preparing. So just having that back in the room, that we can actually, like, you know, physically, you know, be with him and physically look at his notes and stuff like that, is always a plus. You know, especially for a young group. You know, AJ has been in the fire a lot, you know, throughout his career. So he's definitely a guy who knows. He teaches how to watch film and teaches us what he writes down and what he looks for in film. So just having that back in the room after 2 weeks of not having it and getting used to it in camp, it's definitely a plus. We're excited to have AJ back, not just what he brings physically on the field, what he can do, but just mentally, you know, how he can help everybody out in the room with the way he prepares.
When he first got here, how long did it take you, like in OTAs, to realize that's how he was? That's what he was.
Oh, not long at all. I kind of had he was one of my favorite players, you know, back in his Houston days and when he went to Jacksonville. So I kind of already knew, you know, what type of player he was. A very, very savvy guy who really watched film and he really takes stuff from it. So yeah.